So here you see my Live Sophia account, and it just shows you my default screen. I've set it up, I've customized it so that it shows all my playlists that I've recently activated or looked at. And you can change that, obviously customize it so you can look at your tutorials, your groups, whatever you decide. I've got my notifications over here. Down towards the bottom, you've got their School of Thought blog, which is great to read and catch up on different articles and thoughts, their professional development playlists, and then their featured teacher. But in order to go ahead and get started, you're just going to click on the drop-down menu for Create New, and we'll just go to Tutorial for today. And it's going to automatically ask for you to create something. So we'll go ahead and say that we're creating a test tutorial. And as far as choosing a file, it will automatically default to this tutorial image, or you can pick an actual image. When you see any of my actual playlists, I pick one image for the duration of the playlist, so all of them have a linking image. And I've also used that image on my website too, so I think sometimes the image can be helpful for our visual learners. Down here you'll decide or pick on which particular topic your tutorial is going to be based on. I'm an English teacher, so most of mine default to English of some sort. And usually like literature and reading. You can pick however many secondary subjects it is. But then you'll go ahead and click Create. And then the basic screen for you've got your insert image here or insert whatever. You can start building your tutorial that way. So as I talked about in video number 1, these are all of the different pieces you can add in: text and image, video, screen recording, slideshow, audio, PDF, and HTML. And I am going to show you how to do all of those pieces. Up here at the top above your tutorial image, your default image, or maybe you changed it, you'll see that you can edit the name, you can edit the picture tutorial, and so if you ever decide on something or you don't like the default picture, you can obviously change the image at any time. One thing I'll recommend that you do is definitely go into the edit tutorial info and work on building out all of those pieces. As I said, it's really important to describe the objectives. So I usually start with something like at the end of this tutorial you will learn, and then fill in the blank. Also good to have some sort of summary. Tag list. So this is where you're going to add in any of the kind of like hashtags that you would put on tweets or Instagram images, whatever, anything that you think would help others search for or filter and find your tutorial. So all you would do is type in a few words, and as you can see, there's actually a tag that fits that. So you can add as many tags as you want to. So just go crazy with that. That just is going to help others filter and find your actual tutorial. Most of the information, or all the information that goes on to Sophia, is considered Creative Commons. So most of the time I will leave Creative Commons here. Allow commercial use, sure. I always like to click yes as long as others share alike. And there's your image, or the stuff you already filled out, but you can add to or change. I always fill out where I'm actually located. This is just another way for me to filter my information. So I always type in, and you see I've got a lot of tutorials on here, so all of my stuff will eventually find itself. And I just click add, and it will add it in there. I usually don't use textbooks, so I never actually fill this part out. But if you're using a selected textbook, you can add that information. And then of course you can always click all that apply. I usually only click middle school and high school, but in this instance it's a test subject, so click save. And then once you've done that, you filled in all of the variables that they've given you, it will probably pop up and say that it's all of the tutorial information is like 100% complete. So if you click on this See Less, See More section, you can see all of the information that we just filled out, and it does tell you that you've got most of your information done. So let's go ahead and add. I always like to start with some text, and usually I just give my students some directions. Something like, because I have made groups, so I'll always say log into Sophia. So this allows me to log their progress and their information and collect their data. I'll usually say something like watch the video, etc. click save here. So you'll see it pops up with my directions, so it's the title, etc. Let's go ahead and add a video. So if we click on add a video, you can choose from your file. So maybe you have a movie file all ready to go, or you can add in the URL from a YouTube or Vimeo video. So I'm going to scroll over to my YouTube channel. Now you can obviously just copy and paste the URL from here, and then you can also go to the share button and it will give you the link down here, or like we talked about in video 1, you can look for embed codes. So embed codes always start with this iframe piece here. So anytime you're looking for HTML embed codes, they usually start with iframe and look like this, and it will kind of give you some dimensions and things. But right now we're just going to use the URL. So again, you can share the video by using the HTTP // whatever, or you can copy it from up here. And you're just going to go and pop it in. So I'm going to copy and paste it right there. You can cite the source. This is my own video, so I can always go created by, capitalize my own name, and click save. Yes, okay, so now my video is embedded. If I click play, my video will start to play. Perfect, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert a PDF. Let's do that. So we'll go into PDF. Now you can choose the file. So you're going to go into your documents and find you know, a PDF that works. Here, I've got this one here. Okay, so it says success, cite source, sure, created by, and save. So that's one way to add in a PDF, and you'll see that it's going to process. Another way, if you use Google Drive, we're a Google Apps for Education school, so I use a lot of stuff on Google Drive. So let's say I'm in my Google Drive and I have this PDF here. I'm going to open it. We'll go ahead and go to open. So here's my PDF. So I can go into File, and I can go embed this PDF file. Now this is going to give me that iframe embed HTML code. So I'm going to copy. I don't think that copied. Let's copy it. Copy. There we go. And so now I'll come back to my tutorial. It's still processing the PDF that I added. But instead of going to PDF, I'm going to go to HTML because I just copied that HTML iframe code. So I'm going to go here and paste that code in. You can even preview it if you want to. Again, you can cite your source. I'm just trying to show you all the different ways and things that you can embed onto your tutorial. All right, so I've got my video embedded. I've got my PDF embedded that I grabbed from my actual document on my computer, and then I've also embedded from my Google Docs by using HTML code. So you've got a couple of different options here. I love Crocodocs. You can create a free account, but I love Crocodocs, and Sophia actually has, when you embed a PDF, they just use Crocodocs in general. Okay, so another thing, let's show how to do a Prezi. So I don't know if any of you use Prezi. That's what I use to make video number 1. So when you go to Prezi, you can go to share or embed. So you're constantly looking for that embed code. So I've got the embed code. I'm going to copy that embed code, and I'm going to paste it here. Again, cite your sources. And then that will pop in. Another thing that I use all the time is Google Forms. So I love using Google Forms in my Sophia tutorials. So I'm going to go into my spreadsheets. This is one that I'm not necessarily currently using, so I'm going to go ahead and open up this one. And once you have the so you can embed form in web page. So you can do this from both the actual form And you can actually tell it what size you want. And from exhaustive use of this on my own, I've decided that 680 and for most of my questions, 2500. This is like the dimensions that work for me. So I'm going to do that. All right, so there's the Prezi that we added. Now, if I go, oh, it's got a whole bunch of them. Let's delete. Yes, it's okay, delete that. So that's one way you can edit and go through and edit what you've got on your tutorial. Like I said, this is going to be like a crazy tutorial because I'm just going through and adding all these random things to try and show you all the different pieces that you can do. So look, I've got 2 of these, so let's delete that. Okay. This is what happens when you don't have the patience to wait for your internet to scroll through. Okay, so I'm going to go back to HTML because I'm going to insert the Google form that I created. So I've got that iframe code, and you can kind of see here too, this is where I've said I want it to be this width and this height. Remember I said through exhaustive sources I've realized that that's going to work for me, and you can even preview it to see that it fits. So this is a form I use all the time. Okay. All right, so yet again, you've got basic instructions or directions here. That's if you go into insert, it's a text image. We've got a video that we've put in here from YouTube. We've got a PDF that we uploaded straight from our computer. We've got a PDF that we embedded using HTML code from Google Docs. We have a Prezi that we use the HTML code straight from Prezi to embed. And then we also embedded a Google form using HTML code. So lots of really good stuff here. Again, I kind of went fast through it, so if you feel like you want to pause and rewatch how I did some of the things, there's a lot of copying and pasting. It looks very impressive, I think, once you finish, but it's really just a lot of copying and pasting. And I think, you know, once you've done a tutorial like this a couple of times, it just becomes second nature. Over here, I didn't even mention this, but over here you can add quiz functions. So you can add, when you add a quiz, you do have to add up to, I believe, 3 or 4 questions. And they can, you know, be multiple choice, true, false, whatever. There is not open-ended questions. They're all, they do have to have a right or a wrong answer. And then that you can track that information as you add those quizzes. So that's an extra added step, but one that sometimes the kids really dig because they like to be able to know right away if they understood the concept or not. Okay, so I'm done. Your next step will be to practice using some of these tools yourself. It can either be a test tutorial or it can be a real tutorial. I would suggest making a real tutorial because why mess around and make something that you can't actually use? Once you're finished with the tutorial, you will need to publish it. So you'll click up here at the top, the tutorial publishing options, and once you publish it to the world, then you can actually share it with your students. You not just by, you know, simple as copying and pasting up here, you can share that particular link with your students, and then they have access. And your next steps will be to practice all of this yourself. Thanks, guys.